Ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome Mr. JIm Penman.
How are you? I must say it's very impressive to see so much business enterprise in and around Mooroolbark, isn't it? Isn't it amazing, all this stuff around here? But there's something you probably don't know, and it's Australia's largest franchise chain. In fact, probably the biggest lawn mowing franchise in the world is actually headquartered in Mooroolbark, just up there in Edinburgh Road. And that's Jim's group. And that's me. I don't look like it. You know the most common question that our franchisees get asked? I say, is there really a Jim? People don't think I even exist. I was at an airport a couple of years back in Mackay. The lady actually asked me that. He said, you know, you're from Jim's Eye? I said, yeah. She said, is there really a Jim? And I said, yes, there is. She said, have you met him? So I'm not going to give my entire life history today. Just a bit about my business and how it started. I never intended to go into business. I wanted to be an academic. I was at university doing a PhD in history for many years. And what do you do with a PhD in history? Well, of course, you mow lawns for a living. So that's what I did. And I started off 1982, which is 35 years ago. And I was flat broke. I was $30,000 in debt. I had some very decrepit old mowing equipment from a student job I used to do. And I started putting leaflets in letterboxes around near where I lived. And this was never going to be anything long term. This is just something short term until my real career took off. And it started to work. Now, there's many reasons why it shouldn't have worked. I am really a rotten businessman in a whole lot of ways. I am very poor people skills. Anybody who knows me will tell you that. Can't remember names or faces. I can't do small talk. I'm very introverted. Poor manager. Very lazy by nature. You know, my wife could give you another list this long, but there's many reasons why I should fail. But one thing I always had was an absolute passion for my customers. I just hate letting people down. It's just an emotional, instinctive thing. It's got nothing to do with money, nothing to do with anything except if I tell somebody I'm going to be there, I want to be there. If I'm supposed to phone them back, I'll phone them back. And when I did a job, I want it to be such a great job. And I can remember my customers saying things to me like, I never knew my lawn could look that good. Because they'd never seen it. There's nothing they'd ever done. No other contractor ever done the job I could do it. And I was fanatical about it. If I was walking out of a property and I'd see a little ball of grass that big on the other side of the front lawn, I'd just go over and pick it up and chuck it away. And my edges had to be perfect, every blade of grass. I was one of the first contractors in Australia to have a brush cutter because that was the one you get all the edges around the trees and stuff. So I had this kind of attitude and amazingly enough, I started to get business. Despite all my failings and shortcomings, I started to get more and more customers. And when I did that, I started to put on people. And that was difficult because even though I gave great service, my subcontractors were a lot more iffy. And I was very dissatisfied with that. And it was a few years later that I decided to go into franchising. And that wasn't really a decision kind of like, well, what's my next step? It was mainly because a very powerful competitor came in, who's been interstate, been very successful, had 250 franchisees, and I thought if I don't try and compete with these guys, they'll eat me alive. So I decided to launch what was in those days Jim's Mowing, and that was in 1989.